Good. Paul McCandlish with ADP.
Hey, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. How you doing today?
I'm doing well.
Oh, that's good to hear. I always love the Fridays.
Yes,
You know
it's
what I
always
mean?
nice.
Yes. So before we get started, I wanted to make sure I got you a business card
Okay.
For future reference. Could
All right.
I get one of yours in return?
We can grab one on the way out.
Okay.
And we'll get you one.
Okay, sounds good. Well, normally a first meeting with a successful business owner like yourself usually takes about 20 minutes. Is that going to be available to us today?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, well, sounds good. Well, I'm really excited about the opportunity to meet with you today. As you
Mm-hmm.
know, Andy Anderson referred me to you.
Right.
I'm a fellow Baylor Bear, so I'm
Mhm.
excited to be here.
Mhm.
I don't get the chance to meet with Baylor Bears all the
Sure.
time in the Fort Worth area. We have
Right.
the TCU alumni, so
Yep.
I always love it when I get to see a Baylor Bear. Have you got the chance to go down to any football games this year?
I haven't made it down there this year.
Oh, that's too bad. You got to see the new stadium.
Okay.
It's beautiful,
All right.
beautiful environment and everything. So, as Andy was telling me about your company and also yourself, I realized we have a very exciting opportunity on our hands together today to do some business. He told me that you have around 750 employees. Is that correct?
We do under the Marco umbrella, correct?
Yes, absolutely. Well, that presents a great opportunity for us because a few years ago, a third-party firm called Nucleus Research came in and did a study on ADP's clients before and after they partnered with us. And what they found, Mr. Cooper, was that we were saving those companies on average 1.2% of their total payroll process. And so I ran some numbers for your company and realized that could be $450,000 in savings over the year. So that's the opportunity that I'd like to talk to you about today. How does $450,000 sound to you?
Yeah, sure. Sounds great.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, you could do a lot with $450,000,
Sure.
right? So I always like to ask during our time together what's going to make a successful meeting for the 20 minutes. What do you want to accomplish today?
I agreed to meet with you. Andy highly recommended you.
Oh, good.
And in my back of my mind is we have there's some opportunities for us to do better in payroll. So
Okay.
I figure, what the heck?
Okay.
And you're represented. You're working for a great company.
Yes.
So I figured let's have a meeting.
Great.
Yeah.
Well, I look forward to fulfilling those expectations of yours
Okay.
today. I'd like to talk about the current state of your payroll process,
Sure.
obviously,
Uh-huh.
and then if we find a good fit, I can show you a demo of one of our products,
Okay.
if that's okay with you. And then
Sure.
a lot of my customers on the first meeting are concerned about price, so I did work up a price for you, and I can show that to you at the end if you'd like.
Okay.
Does that sound good?
Sure.
Anything else you'd like to add, or is
No.
that pretty good?
No.
Okay, well, great. Well, Mr. Cooper, tell me about the decision-making process that would go into implementing a new payroll system in the Marco company.
Okay, so the Marco company, we're really a combination of about 6 different divisions.
Absolutely.
And so very entrepreneurial, not a lot of best practices amongst
Okay.
the 6 divisions.
Okay.
So, what I'm interested is really, if this goes well, is potentially letting you loose on one of my divisions.
Oh, great.
And talking to the decision maker. His name is Chris Elliott.
Chris Elliott, okay.
Yeah, and he's with the Thermel
Right,
division.
right, absolutely.
Okay, so
So that would be our pilot program with that division?
well, I don't know pilot program because I really let the division managers do run their own ship. So
Oh, you do?
I wouldn't necessarily call it a pilot program.
Okay.
But I would tell you that best practices are usually adopted from success within a division.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. So the next step going forward from today would be to meet with Chris, you and me, to discuss the implementation?
Correct.
Okay, well, great. Well, I can definitely reach out to Chris after this if I fulfill your expectations during this meeting.
Sure.
So is Chris the one who's actually doing the payroll at that division, or does he
He
have
is.
somebody else?
He's the division manager, and he's actually doing the payroll.
Okay. Well, walk me through what that process is like for Chris.
Okay.
How's he liking it?
I really have very top level experience with
Yeah.
his understanding. It's a homegrown system.
Oh, it is.
Yeah, with a local organization in Ohio.
Okay.
So he spends half his time in Ohio and half of his time in Texas. He's got employees in both locations.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
So it'd be a 2-location implementation process.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if you can just do it all from one spot or not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so what you're asking is, are we able to play across multiple locations
Yes.
in your company?
Right.
Yes, actually is the answer.
Okay.
We do grow with your company as you
Okay.
grow, no matter how many locations you have. we can implement the system anywhere, anytime. We like to say we're in the business of your success as a customer, no matter how many locations or how many employees you have. So does that address your concern?
Sure.
Okay, great. So the homegrown system, is that paychecks or what's that system?
I have no idea. It's a local provider. I have no idea.
Okay. Do you know how much that's costing them per year?
I have no idea.
Okay, that's fine. Do you know how many employees Chris is managing over at Thermal?
Sure. So within the 2 locations, he has 17 direct reports.
Total or at each location?
17 total.
17 total.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, sounds good. We definitely have a solution that can work with 17 employees.
Okay.
So don't be worried about that. So how long is it taking him each week to complete this payroll?
He's saying it's taking him a lot of time.
Oh,
you know,
really?
it's a couple hours every payroll, and every time he does it. But I'm not sure how many times a month he's doing it. But
you're not sure.
It's taking him a while. So he's definitely belly aching about that, which is why I thought this was
Absolutely.
It was timely that Andy introduced us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what else could Chris be doing with his time if he wasn't spending those 2 hours on payroll each week?
Well, I mean, he's really he's not a nuts and bolts guy. He's a face-to-face guy.
Yeah.
He's really wants to be in front of the customers and this back office stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, I need to try to relieve it for him.
Oh, absolutely.
As much as possible.
Absolutely. Could you put a financial value on his time?
I would let Chris figure that out for himself. Yeah.
Okay. That's fine. So on a scale of 1 to 10, I'd like to know what you would currently rate that system at Thermal, but also what you think Chris would rate that system.
I have no idea. I mean, I know he's not happy, so.
Okay. Explain why he's not happy.
Just because I think, number one, it's taken him quite a bit of time. Mm-hmm. And then, I know last year that from a safety standpoint, he had an issue where there was a minor embarrassing issue where some employee payroll info got out there.
Really?
To salary to some of the other folks, so that obviously caused some issues. So.
Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
Did that financially cost him or do anything?
It didn't cost us anything, but it's embarrassing.
Yeah, it is embarrassing. Yeah. Well, I'm so sorry to hear that. We definitely pride ourselves on overcoming those concerns. Mm-hmm. And actually, if you ever incurred any costs with ADP, if ever he made a mistake, or if ever you were out of compliance, we would cover those costs 100%. Okay. So you wouldn't have to worry about that, no matter what the cost. So that could be a great benefit to the Marco company, I think. So you don't have a rating on it, but we can both agree that there is some room for improvement.
Yes.
Obviously, it's taking him a little long, but if you would want to improve that score, let's say it's at a 7, what 2 things do you think you change about your current system to improve it? You've talked about ease of use and timeliness a little, but is there anything else?
You're going to have to ask Chris.
Ask Chris.
Yep.
Okay. That's fine. Well, a lot of our employees, the first time I meet with them, or our customers, the first time I meet with them, are really concerned about the accuracy of our system. You talked a little bit about that with the safety issue that you talked about. And so if it's okay with you, I'd like to show you the accuracy of our system, and then after I show my customers that, they're usually really excited about partnering with ADP. So I can talk about the timeliness and ease of use, and then also the accuracy.
Okay.
Does that sound good?
Sure.
Okay. Great. Well, so what's going to be the financial impact on the Marco company if you continue to do what you're doing with your current system? I know you'd like Chris to be doing more face-to-face stuff, obviously, but is there any financial impact that you think could be solved through a new system?
I don't. Chris is really going to be the guy who will help, who has a better understanding about that.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Absolutely. Okay. Well, if I could show you how to overcome the timeliness, the ease of use, and also the accuracy, would you be interested in taking the next step and moving forward with ADP?
Yeah, let's take a look at it.
Okay. You want to see a demo?
Sure.
All right. Well, I brought our ADP Run mobile demo. Do you mind if I kind of scoot around here?
Okay.
You can get a better view.
All right, sure.
Sounds good. Do you have any questions for me at this point?
Yeah.
I'd like to stop and ask if anybody has any questions.
Okay.
All right, so we're going to talk about the ease of use, the timeliness, how fast this can be done, and then also the accuracy.
Okay.
And I think you're really going to be excited about what ADP has to offer.
Mm-hmm.
So this is our ADP Run mobile demo,
Okay.
and we're going to actually run a full payroll for you today.
Is this one of your customers?
No, we actually own ADP Run Mobile. So
Oh, okay.
it is a mobile application.
All right.
And so it can work with you on the iPad, iPhone, or computer.
Oh, okay.
So we own this outright. So this is what Chris would be using
Okay.
every single week.
Okay.
Okay?
All right.
All right, so we're going to run our first payroll. So if you could click on payroll for me.
Payroll.
Mm-hmm. This is showing you resume weekly or start weekly. Now, the accuracy function of this is that once you run a payroll, it saves that data in there, so you don't have to re-enter it every time. It eliminates human error,
Okay.
which is a huge concern of a lot of our customers.
Okay.
So we're going to resume weekly
Okay.
and start running our payroll. And this is showing you direct deposit and also check date, period start, period end. Direct deposit is a great feature that a lot of our customers care about, and it improves that timeliness each week because Chris won't be having to write those checks every single week.
Okay.
So he can definitely look into that. And then you can resume.
I hit this button?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Is it pretty easy to use, pretty user-friendly?
Sure.
It's all at your fingertips, which is great.
Yeah.
This is where you can scan all your employees' hourly and salaried rates.
Mm-hmm.
You can move into each employee and scroll left, scroll right to see each employee. So that way it eliminates the amount of steps that Chris would be using in his payroll, which is saving him time, which Chris definitely cares about.
He'll be excited.
Yeah, and then we can do the preview screen up here. You can click preview.
Okay.
And then calculate.
Calculate.
Yes, sir. And you've run your first payroll.
Oh, wow.
Now, how long did that take you, Mr. Cooper?
Not too long.
Not too long. Do you think Chris would be happy with the ease of use and timeliness of this?
I believe so.
And then also accuracy. I showed you some accuracy things that it can solve.
Okay.
Any more questions you have for me?
No, I mean, that looks good.
It's pretty good?
Yeah.
Okay, so if I got his okay on this, I would have your blessing. I'd be able to move forward with it.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I mean, I think to address all the safety questions. I mean, I guess the only other question I have for you is I understand. I know ADP. I know the company, but you personally.
Oh. You don't know me yet.
I don't know you. I know you where you went to school.
Yes.
You look young. I mean, how many have you done? How many of these have you done already from an implementation standpoint?
So you're concerned about my experience level with ADP, is that correct?
Absolutely.
Yes, that's definitely a concern that gets brought up in a lot of my meetings because I have just been with ADP for a year. I've implemented 7 processes like this in the past year, and all of them have gone smoothly. My customers seem to be very satisfied. And I actually brought you a testimonial, a letter of reference from Andy Anderson, who can attest to my knowledge, reliability, work ethic, and I can leave this with you after the meeting. And you can definitely call Andy, or I can give you some other letters of references from other customers. Yeah, you can talk to Andy about my reliability.
Okay.
Does that address your concern?
Yeah, absolutely.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
All right. Well, can we move into the price now? I'd like to show you the investment.
Okay.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
Do you want to know that?
Sure.
Okay. Well, sounds good. So we're going to be implementing this in Thermel, obviously, and that's going to be 17 employees. So we're going to enter $38.95 in there. And $38.95. And so that is plus the $150 implementation fee. It's going to be a yearly investment of $1,084. Now, how does that look to you, Mr. Cooper?
Yeah, I mean, it looks decent. We have a couple different ways that we're doing it today, so that looks like it's in the ballpark.
It's in the ballpark?
Yeah,
okay.
I don't know specifically how much Chris is paying for his payroll system.
Right. Well, I can definitely overcome that number with the value I can show you through ADP's investment. So if we keep scrolling through here, usually the system that you're currently using is about $300. That's a rough estimate. That's probably a low ball of what Chris is using. Fines and penalties, I mentioned, that's completely on our part. You haven't had any of those in the last year, which is outstanding. So you can continue to get the 25th customer out of the 24 out of 25. You're almost there.
Okay.
But you don't want fines and penalties limiting you from that, obviously.
Okay.
Then we have the man hours not currently earning revenue. That's 2 for Chris.
Right.
So if he starts earning revenue with that face-to-face interaction that he likes to do, we can definitely enter that amount. And then the last number we throw in here is the 1.2% that the Nucleus research talked about. saving human error and also saving the fact that you might be overpaying your employees.
Okay.
And honestly, 1.2% is lowballing it, but we can use 1% for today, just so you know that you are going to be recovering that value in the first year.
Okay.
So we can calculate that for Chris's division.
Mm-hmm.
Is it okay to assume that Chris's division, most employees are making around $50,000?
Sure.
Okay. So $50,000 times our 17 employees in his division is $850,000 of payroll,
Mm-hmm.
and then we multiply that by 1.2% is $10,200. So we can enter that right in the 1.2% recovery, 10,200. And then our total number there for first year savings, Mr. Cooper, is $9,415. Now imagine what you can
Not
do.
quite the 450,000.
Not quite, but that's, remember, one division.
Right.
So if we implement it over multiple divisions,
Okay.
that's what you're going to see.
All right.
That's a pretty good number, isn't it?
Yeah, that's good.
Does that make you excited?
I'm excited.
Okay, that sounds good, Mr. Cooper. Well, that concludes what I have for you today. I just want to make sure we can move forward with the next step and get with Chris and start implementing this new payroll system.
Yeah, great. So Chris is not here this week. He's here every other week.
Okay, every other week?
Yeah.
Okay.
So maybe we can set up a follow-up meeting for sometime next week.
Yeah, I mean, I blocked out both Monday and Wednesday.
Okay.
Does either of those days work for Chris, do you think?
Typically he's landing early on the Monday. So let's plan for Wednesday.
Okay.
And once you get my car, you can follow up.
Yeah, I can definitely give you a call and you can be involved in the meeting. But
Yeah.
I'll plan on being here Wednesday at 10 a.m. and I'll make sure to give him a call as well to confirm that.
Yeah. So he's the decision maker. So you'll be starting fresh next week.
That's fine with me.
Okay.
As long as I have your blessing
Yeah.
and you're willing to back this up,
Yeah.
we can definitely get this started and get it implemented within a week.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and
Okay.
see this number start coming within a week. So,
Okay. Cool.
have I fulfilled your expectations for this meeting, Mr. Cooper?
You have.
Okay, well that's great to hear. And I have one last thing for you. As I was talking to Andy Anderson the other day, he actually told me that there's another Baylor Bear who owns a business literally a block away, right down on Marquita Drive.
Okay.
His name's Bob Simpson. I'm sure you've run into him a couple times. Do you know Bob?
The name sounds familiar.
Name sounds familiar. Okay, he owns a manufacturing plant right down the way. But I was wondering if you knew him, if I fulfill your expectations over these next couple weeks, if you'd be willing to give me an introduction, see if I could discuss this opportunity with Bob Simpson as well.
Sure.
Get this Baylor Bear conglomerate going up here in Fort Worth, if you know what I mean.
Absolutely. Sure.
Okay, well
Yeah.
that sounds good. Well, I look forward to doing business with you, Mr. Cooper, and also getting to meet Bob Simpson here in the next few weeks.
Okay. Sounds good.
Sounds good.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mr. Cooper. Good to see you.
All right.
Pretty good on time. It was good to see you,
It's good
Mr.
to
Link.
see you,
I'm glad
brother.
you came down.
Yeah, man.
That was fun. I enjoyed that. It's a whirlwind. But
So this is your last time doing this?
last time. Isn't that crazy?
How did you do last year?
I actually won it.
Did you?
Yeah, first place overall. That's why they put my face over there on the
Okay.
board.
No
But-
pressure, right?
Yeah, no pressure. But I did the best I could.
Yeah.
You
And
have any
we're-
feedback for me, or?
No, you did a great job.
Okay.
You did a great job.
Okay, great.
So how'd you like the curveball?
Which one?
The going from 700 employees to 17.
I thought it would be going that way.
You did?
And I figured I could overcome that with the value and 1.2%. So
Yeah.
I was okay with it. But
Yeah.
it was much smaller than I thought. And you know what? You need a curveball in these competitions. But I feel kind of bad for all the new people doing this. I mean,
Yeah.
it's a tough process. It's
Yeah.
a difficult sell. So.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you did a great job, so I appreciate
good.
it.
Good. I'm trying to be consistent.
Yeah. Are you done for the day now?
No. I think I got. I'll probably do 2 more sets of these.
Oh, jeez.
So where are you going? Are you going to 3?
3M.
What are you going to do?
I'm going to be outside sales rep, obviously, not
Yeah.
doing marketing. I'm a face-to-face guy, but
Right.
they haven't told me what division I'm going to be
Okay,
in
so you
yet.
don't know yet.
Don't know yet.
So you graduate
In May.
for the summer. Okay.
May, yeah. Yeah, and Oxy was definitely on my list. I mean, I love Oxy. And I was in Houston this summer for 3M,
Yeah.
and I shadowed Courtney Frank
Okay.
to get
Yeah.
a feel of Oxy and everything. But then, I just decided to go with 3M after they offered me right after the internship. I'm like, I don't have to interview all year.
Oh,
It's
dude.
pretty good.